And we will have to move to a situation where we define water based on sector use: agriculture, industrial, residential. These are important concepts. But water is also energy. We have to study the energy potential. We know that the Missouri River has very intense current flow. And if we're going to the river as a source for surface water, then we also have to examine in these studies how we convert that energy flow in simple way to generate enough power or energy for the plants. And that is how we optimize the value, the economic value of water. Because the objective of having a ministry dedicated to this is to allow us to optimize our value creation in terms of water. So again, I'm very pleased to be able to join you in the commissioning of this water treatment plant. I want to say that our minister and his team have all embraced this new challenge with great energy. But that energy has to be sustained and optimized to ensure that the enormous targets we set ourselves are all realized. You know, just a few weeks ago, we turned the south for the establishment of an aerodrome in this region. And we saw the private sector, the confidence in the private sector in investing in this. We also look at housing. In the last couple of years, we've spent more than $2.5 billion in housing. Spent and committed $9.3 billion in health, $36.5 billion in natural resources, ensuring we have the infrastructure to get to your lands. More than $2.2 billion in human services, $1.7 billion in water, almost $1 billion in forestry, $1 billion in renewable energy. That is the type of investment we'll be making in this region. So $2.5 billion in housing, 5 miles extension, the new roads, the new drainage, the utilities to support this housing development. In August 2025, the government commissioned, look, like a long time ago, less than a year ago, right here, we commissioned the upgraded Stelling at 500 investment of $533 million. And we said at that commissioning that we should look at creating the hub for boating, yachting, and a marina that we can attract traffic to come to Bartica. And I asked this ministry to coordinate and work with the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce to pursue this opportunity here in Bartica. I want to recognize the enormous investment by the private sector also. One private sector provider invested hundreds of millions of dollars in a submarine fiber optic cable, which was landed in Bartica, bringing high-speed internet and 5G to Bartica. These things go unnoticed. But these are major investments. It is because of that investment that we can now work on having online education, the digitization, the national payment platform, telemedicine, and all of the other supportive services that you will enjoy in this region. We also commissioned the new Regional Police Division headquarters here in this region. Solar farm, 1.5 megawatt of solar photovoltaic farm was commissioned in this region. The Bartica Secondary School dorm under construction, the extension, that's a cost of more than $423 million. In the health sector, we are constructing a new Bartica hospital, a level 5 hospital. That investment alone will be $7.5 billion. That one investment and this water treatment plant might be more than what the APNU AFC would have ever invested in their collective more than 30 years in office in this country, in this region. Why are we doing this? We are doing this because we believe in you, the people of Region 7. We believe in the potential of this region. I see my dear friend Tushau. Please stand. Amazing Tushau, hard-working Tushau. Transforming his village. This young man has impressed me with the type of work he's done. He can tell you about the support we have given, not only to his village, but many other villages across this region. Not all sometimes appreciate the magnitude of the investment by demonstrating gratefulness. We are not an overnight institution. We are a high quality, high delivery institution in the People's Progressive Party today. We have constantly stood in with the development path of this country. In this region, we are now working on the construction of duplex living quarters for the nurses and other staff for the Bartica Hospital. We're extending the drug bond and 17 airstrips in this region. 17 airstrips that will be connected to the main hub that is being built here in Bartica. Understand the economic potential that is unlocked. $950 million on the rehabilitation of the Bartica-Patara Road, and over $100 million spent in the Bartica Township on infrastructure development. I'm not even telling you what we have spent in the recreational facilities. And yet, this year, what have we done? Infrastructure development remains a priority. In 2026, we have allocated in the budget another $1 billion for the Bartica-Patara Road, $100 million for Township Road rehabilitation, and almost $900 million for housing infrastructure development. We're also going to invest in drainage improvement of Mangrepa Creek, the water system in Upper Mazaruni, and other communities. I say this to you because many times those who are short-sighted, those who are strangers to the truth, and those who have no record in the development of this country will try to mislead you. And in this region, they believe that they were successful because they were able to infiltrate your conscience. But I believe every human must hit a reset button at some point. This region has experimented with all sorts of leadership at the regional level, but you've never given the party that has invested the most in you and believed the most in you the chance to lead at the region. And the time has come when the PPP has earned its worth in this region, and the people conscience must speak to that worth and give the People's Progressive Party Civic a chance to lead this region at the RDC. And I say that without apology. I say that as a statement of fact. I say that with the greatest respect for all those who would have occupied the seats of that RDC. The truth be told, this government has invested and invested consistently in the people of this region. I'm not going to go over the figures that the CEO and minister spoke about in terms of this plan and the water sector, but I want to remind people of these truths. We're not only building and expanding water supply. We did this, Ramesh, before without increasing water rates, without adding VAT on water bill, and by giving subsidies to the pensioners. The last government that we experimented with came back, increased the rate, added VAT on water, and removed the subsidy with oil in the economy. So I want to point to this truth. As we return to office, we reduce water tariff by 5% across all categories of customer. No other government can point to an action like this in terms of water. We remove VAT on water services, and we restore the senior citizens and pensioners subsidy. Billions of dollars, but billions of dollars invested in the people of our country. Looking ahead, 2026 to 2030, the strategic plan will be very different, as I outlined earlier. It is not only focused on delivery of water, but on the economic value of water. But important, as we build out this new Guyana, is how do we deal with wastewater? How do we deal with our sewage network? And this entity and the ministry must now work towards implementing a strategy as to how we are going to modernize the system, starting with Georgetown, and how we're going to inform the building out of newer systems with the Ministry of Housing. Region 7 stands out as a model of impact. Between 2020 and 2025, hundreds of billions of dollars was invested in the people. We're seeing the difference. You're seeing the changes. You're seeing the improvement in the quality of your life. As we continue this journey of transformation, especially here in the water sector, we must remember it requires commitment, coordination, and courage. To the engineers who designed the system, the workers, the technicians, the contractors, the consultants, the managers, the leaders of GWI, I thank you for your service. Without the project team, this would not have been possible. Clean water is not a luxury, it is life. It is health in every glass. It is dignity in every household. It is security for every child. When treated water flows 24 hours a day, hope flows with it. When a commodity no longer worries about the safety of its supply, when a community no longer worries about the safety of its supply, it can focus on growth, education, and opportunity. Water is the first building block of development, because without water, nothing else works. Even the massive data centers that you see around the world consume large quantities of water. Treatment plants produce more than clean supply. They produce public health. Reliable access means stronger families, stronger schools, stronger businesses, and a stronger public health infrastructure. This is how we make life better for every Guyanese. Not with promises, but with pipes in the ground and water in the taps. Not with words alone, but with results people can see, feel, and trust. Clean water is the equalizer. Clean water is empowerment. Clean water is nation building in its purest form. Thank you, and God bless all of you. Please enjoy this facility. And remember, the People's Progressive Party civic government has delivered again to the people of Region 7 and the people of Bartica.
Thank you.
Guyana, oh my lovely native land, more dear to me than all the world. Thy sea-washed sun is dry. All down upon the burden, look down upon the great Atlantic flow into a fury. Or asleep. At morn, at noon, or better in the crimson sunset glow. I love thee, oh, I love thee. Beautiful Guyana, oh, my lovely native land. More dear to me thy all the world, thy sea-washed sun is dry. Oh, down upon the border, looking out upon the sea, the great Atlantic flowing through a fury. Or a sea at morn, at noon, or better in the crimson sunset glow. I love thee, oh, I love thee. Let us cooperate for Diana. Let us cooperate for another. Let us resolve to fight together. See, we do it right together. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Each man will do his best for his comrade. Each man will do his best for his land. Each man was resolved to help another, learn to call his one neighbor brother. Can we do it? Yes, we can. The, the region must unite for the country. The region must unite for the land. Each region must have its chosen mission, but they all have one ambition. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Let us cooperate for Guyana. Let us cooperate for our land. Let us resolve to fight. Let us see we do it right together. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Thank you.
His Excellency, President Dr. Mohamed Fanali, sir, thank you for joining us today in 4 Miles Bartica. My colleague, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Todd, to the CEO and the management and the board of GWI, the regional management, and the REO and his team, and the folks that work at GWI, the contractor, and everybody who helped to bring this project to fruition. When I was asked to manage this sector to some extent, not manage but oversee, to direct this sector, I realized that I'm going to do something that the president had years and years of experience managing. That means you cannot bring half-baked information, cannot bring excuses, you cannot bring wishy-washy stuff, because you have a president who grew up in the sector. That brings significant amount of pressure on the ministry to make sure we deliver. Now, over the past decades, access to electricity and water, reliable electricity, quality source, certainly a challenge for the AP and UFC government, and continue to remain one of the things that we have to get right. Access to treated water is one of them, and in the hinterland as well, access to water in the whole were to the Ghana Water Incorporated. And I want to say to you that in Region 7, from the time we took office in 2020 to the end of 2025, we spent in Region 7 alone about $1.7 billion to bring water to the people that are living in this region. Never before there was this level of investment into this region. That is to show our commitment to the people of Region 7. We moved on to make sure that over 16,000 people had access to water in this region. And with the coming to completion and the delivery of this plant to produce surface water to 4 miles straight up to 7 miles was another huge investment of $607 million. So that 6,000 additional residents that resides in this community can have access to treated water that are the World Health Organization compliant to the standard of what they call potable water. That is a testament that nobody in this country, regardless of where you live, is forgotten. Whether you're in Jawala, wherever you are in Region 7, we make sure that we bring services to you. In this crowd is a young man named Jailan. Only a few weeks ago, we were in a place called Karasabai, in the middle of mountains, delivering water to folks here. Wichibai, Curicó, and you name it. Every hinterland riverine community now has water. We are 98.6%, and by the end of 2026, we'll be 100%. Everybody will have access in the hinterland riverine community to water. I think that the GWI team, they deserve a round of applause. Not that little thing that you guys did. In 5 years alone, they have drilled through 235 wells. Last year alone, 104 wells were drilled. And you know the nice thing about it is that, like folks here, we use the surface water. In Region 8 and Region 9, most of 95% of the time, the water that comes from the aquifer doesn't have the iron content that we have on the coastline here. So you can actually put your hand and drink the water. That is how good the water supply is in the hinterland areas. So that reduces the pressure on government coffers. It reduces the pressure on financing to go put treatment plant in areas in those parts. But in Region 7, what we have here is first of its kind. And we're going to continue to build surface water treatment plant in Stourbville. We're going to do an LBI. We're going to do in Diamond. We're doing one now in Hope. That will make sure that by 2028, we have 100% treated water on the coastline. And that is our vision, driven by our president, who continues to push this sector and every other sector. I want to say something. I'm not going to speak very long. But when you understand how structures are set up in a country, from the leadership right down to the man on the ground, when you understand we are at a time of Lent, time of fasting, time of Ramadan, but when you understand how powers are set up and how God put people in place to do things, then you'll understand this event today is just one manifestation of thousands that we've been doing. One of thousands. What it does, it makes sure that the heart of the leader is, the work that he does is beyond the minimum obligation. It's driven by a spirit to do good for people. That makes you wake up at night. It makes you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It makes you wake up at 5 in the morning to do things that are beyond the basic obligation. And we are blessed in this time, in our history, in our young republic, to have a man like Dr. Mohamed Fanali at the helm of this country, leading the development of it. And I want to say that I am thankful that He has entrusted me to run this new ministry with this sector with some hard-working people at the Guyana Water Incorporated. I remain thankful to everybody, to Shiva Water Solutions, and the rest of the team that brought this to a reality. Thank you, and thank you to the people of Bartica, Region 7, wherever you came from this morning. Thank you very much for coming out here to share the success of your region. If you don't celebrate the success of your own region, nobody else will. So I'm happy that you came out today to share in it and to understand that you're seeing development before your very eyes. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Hi, good day everyone. My name is Kyra Pico. My poem title is Thankful for Water. For many years our voice cried by dusty paths our hope survives. The well stood dry, a silent sign of waiting to uncount's time. We walk for water down tonight with heavy loads and fading mind. Life paths where water failed to flow and progress moved painful slow. Then came a president who heard beyond respect, beyond the world. A government that chose to see the needs of our community, to vision, action, and resolve. Then here our long hopes pain dissolved, the well now lives, our tops now run. A simple gift, yet second to none. Because of the president guiding hands and the government purposeful stance help a stronger time restore, and digital is once again as should. So we give thanks with help and heart, may move for water, plums on level ships trust. A gift of life that helps us grow and hope that continues to flow. Thank you.
His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Fanali, Honorable Ministers of the Government, Parliamentary Secretary, Chairman of the Board of Directors, Mr. Duku, and all the directors who are here, many of them, or most of them are here. I can see them right now. Other members of the management team, those hard-working managers and technical experts at GWI who made this possible, and also to the people of Bartica, especially 4 miles and 5 miles, and also to the contractor who, in our estimation, have done an exceptional job here at 5 miles in constructing this treatment plant. And this is one of the latest automated treatment plants utilizing surface water. Now, as we celebrate the commissioning of this plant, it demonstrates the continuing progress being made in providing both access to water and quality, safe and quality water to the peoples across this country, on the coastal belt and also in the hinterland communities. It demonstrates the vision of the President and the government of Guyana to ensure that all the peoples of this country receive adequate water, safe water, quality water, which means treated water. And we are progressing as we go along, because at the present time, we have 80% coverage of quality water. And by the end of this year, we would have achieved 92% treated water in this country. We recognize and we understand those communities who are not receiving treated water at this point in time. We urge them to be patient with us as we move aggressively, and that is to realize the vision of the government, which has expended huge sums of money. I'm not going to the details, billions upon billions of dollars, because they care. We care, we want to promote the welfare of the people of this country, including, of course, Bartica. We're here now today. And it shows that we want to, as we transform the economy, we have to transform the water sector to deliver water to the people. Because, in my view, without a water supply, adequate water supply, this can stymie the rate of the economic development of our country. And so GWI, as the implementing agency, has been on the move. And we have achieved a lot. I'm not going to go into that. Already, as one speaker said, this is the 7th plant within the last year, which is being commissioned. And we have several others in the month of March. Shortly, we have 3 or 4 other plants, which will soon be commissioned. Both large plants, medium-sized plants, the upgraded plants, and small plants. And this will happen within the next month or so. So we are on the move, and we are trying to fulfill the expectations of the people. Now we have already achieved 78.6% access to water across this country. And as I mentioned before, 80% of treated water. So we are doing well. In Bartica, the situation was very hard because the plant that was designed had outlived its size. In other words, the people of Bartica, with the new housing development promoted by the government of Guyana, the new 4 miles housing scheme. And I recall very well that the government at that time moved quickly, regularized some of the squatting that was taking place, and we created one of the largest schemes here in Bartica, 4 miles housing scheme. And I know very well what it is, because at that time, with all due respect, I was the Minister of Housing and Water. And I feel proud over the last 2 weeks coming back into 4 miles, and I've been visiting from time to time, to see the huge development taking place there. And now we have the 5 mile scheme, and then we will have 7 mile scheme. So the challenge for us is to ensure that we provide potable water of international standards for the people. 4 miles, 5 miles, and 7 miles. And we intend to do just that. Now, in Bartica, we have a plant extracting water from the Mazaruni River, being treated and being distributed. And because of the size of the plant, we have had to sectionalize the water supply to 4 miles and 5 miles. And we've got a lot of complaints, rightly so. But today, and over the last 2 weeks, when we were testing this plant, all the people in 4 miles and 5 miles have been getting a good supply of water, treated water. And they have been full in praise of the government for what they have done. I have visited this week the 4 miles and 5 miles scheme, and we have the testimonials whereby they're in praise of the government for ensuring this adequate supply of safe water at 4 miles and 5 miles. And we're talking about 24-hour service. And that is very important. What that means also is that the people in central Bartica and the other areas like Agatash and so on, they will now receive water 7 days a week and 24 hours. That is the target we've set ourselves. Already, the level of service in Bartica has gone up, and the regional management here has reported that all areas are receiving between 7 between 10 and 20 feet of water in central Bartica areas. So there has been a significant improvement of the water supply. And so it should be. Now, here at 5 Miles, what happened? We worked very hard, and since over 2 years ago, we set about this project. The challenge was because of the geological formation, which does not provide access to groundwater supplies through the wells. We have tried. Many attempts were made by GWI in-house team, by contractors. They all failed because of the geological formation and the water supply. And therefore, we set about trying to identify a source of water. And we visited 6 sites across the Bartica area. By the airport, there was some water source which was inadequate. At 5 miles at the back, we tried again at 4 miles, and so on. And these sources were not adequate. But we continued. We even went into the forest. I led a team here with surveyors to try to identify. So we were making the effort all this time. And we succeeded at last. Right here at 5 miles, not far from here, just 10 minutes walk, but it goes down to about 140 feet, where we identified the source of high quality water. And that is the source from which we are extracting the water. We've had to build a catchment, reservoir, and we had to have special pumps with a high head to push the water up here, transmission systems, and all of that we've done. But more importantly, the sustainability was important. It took time. We got the hydro meteorological department involved. We put the test in the water stream there. We got our hydrologists, so we have been testing this for over 2 years to ensure that it's sustainable. And we have so decided, and then we asked the government for the investment funds to construct this plant. So it has a history behind it. Now, about this plant, I wouldn't say much because we've heard already from the contractor. It's a state-of-the-art surface water treatment plant, the only of its kind in terms of surface water treatment plants in Guyana. And as we proceed to build more plants, this will be the model for the future. Now, as Mr. Raj has stated, it is fully automated. Even the sludge removal is automated to ensure a timely removal of the sludge from the tanks here. And that is important. The backwashing is automated. The treatment of the water is automated also. And we almost have a 24 hours laboratory, which we will visit in a short while from now. So this plant will, we're hoping, serve Bartica well, 4 miles and 5 miles. And as we're in that, we're also moving for the 5 miles treatment plant. I must mention this. For the treatment plant in Bartica, the old treatment plant, to add another filter by the end of June to process and treat more water, the central Bartica and all the areas in that zone. So we're moving ahead with that. Now, the quality of the water, as I always like to mention, is superb. It requires minimum treatment and huge savings because of the quality of water from the source. And when we process the water, we're using minimum treatment processes in terms of chemicals and so on to treat the water. So that is another savings that we have. Now, in terms of the water quality, I want to read from the report that has been given to me here in terms of the water quality here. In all the parameters, the pH, the turbidity, but this water doesn't have much iron, minimum iron, this surface water. The apparent color, and total coliforms, zero, zero. Our latest test, we did several tests, and the latest test was done on Thursday, and the E. coli, which is the microbiological contamination of the water, is zero. I have a report here from a well-resourced laboratory. And the report, I want to read it to assure the people of 4 and 5 miles in particular that this water is safe to drink. The results of sampled sites reveal a successful treatment from a good quality raw water supply to stabilize potable effluent. The treatment stages effectively achieve color and turbidity removal, and more importantly, pathogen inactivation, ensuring a zero count for total coliforms and E. coli in the final distribution. I want you to take note of that this water is safe for drinking. Now, in terms of the level of service, I've gone in myself. I don't take second-hand information when it comes to these events. We've been here 2 times already, and the people are in praise of the government again, thankful for this facility. And we have it in the testimonials, which was played here, right here today. And I want to give you 2 instances. I visited the highest point in 4 miles. And the lady come out and she recognized me as a former minister. She hugged me up and said, the government gave us house lots. Now you're ensuring that we have a good and safe water supply. And she took me to the back, raised the hose herself, and put it to the tank way up. And you could hear the water dropping in. And she's so pleased about that. It's a commitment and a promise realized due to the government's support and commitment. I went to another lady, and when she talked to us, she said, long last, we were getting water, but not in adequate supplies and so on. And she said, I have one problem. I said, what is your problem? She said, the pressure is so much that I have to go and buy paste by pipelines at home. And it's there, live, where she was saying these things. So the people are pleased. And this is what the government is about. Transforming lives, livelihoods, ensuring a healthy population, safe water. And therefore, I wish to end by stating that having delivered this facility, we now have to care for this facility, operate it efficiently. And only this week, a team of technical people came here and started the training program. We had it, training the operators to manage this facility, and that is very important, to maintain it. We have a maintenance program, not only for this facility, but for a robust training program, a robust maintenance program for all the 35 treatment plants that we have here. That is headed by Dr. Anderson, who is a treatment specialist. And he's a part of the team, along with Mr. Roberts Canfield, because he was the project manager and ensuring the successful completion of this plant. But I must mention also that Mr. Aaron Ward was step by step. Every time I come to Bartica, which was frequent at times, he was with me. He helped to identify the source of supply. So I want to thank him, to commend him for his support to GWI throughout the last 2 years and helping us a lot. So to the people of Bartica, to the people of 5 miles and 4 miles, look forward to improved service, and we intend to maintain that as we move along. So thank you very much.
His Excellency President Dr. Rupanel, the President of the Republic of Guyana, Honorable Ministers, Mr. Ramesh, this is the chairman of GWI, Mr. Sheikh Bucks, the CEO of GWI, Mr. Aubrey Roberts, the project manager for this project, members of GWI, my esteemed team members of Toshiba Water Solutions, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is really auspicious for me to stand in front of all of you and participate in commissioning of this Bartica water treatment plant. Today, by commissioning this facility, over 6,000 residents of Bartica would be receiving good quality potable water. This water is coming from river, so the river water is in abundance, but it cannot be consumed as it is. And for that, to make it potable, consumable by human, we have this treatment facility. The treatment facility includes uh, the different units for surface water treatment. These units are flash mixer. These are technical terms, but basically you could consider that these units like flash mixer, flocculator, lamella clarifier, they take out the sediments from the surface water. Then there is gravity filter, which takes out the finer particle. The finer particle also a person can see in the form of color. So when we see in the raw water, the color is like over 200 units, platinum cobalt units. The turbidity, which is the muddiness in the water, varies at some time when the river spikes. The turbidity could go as high as 200 units. And during the dry season, the turbidity could be as low as 15, 20 units. For the potable water, this turbidity has to be less than 5 NTU. And this treatment plant consistently produces water which is less in color than described by World Health Organization, which will be less in turbidity, which is 5 NTU prescribed by World Health Organization. The pH of this water, pH when it is higher than 7 is alkaline, and when it is less than 7 is acidic. So the raw water pH is between 4 and 5, which is not good for human consumption. But in this treatment plant, once it is coming out, it is between 6.5 to 7.5 standard units, so which is good for human consumption. And the facility itself is fully automated, where the human intervention is required for chemical preparation. Other than that, everything is processed automatically. And the facility itself has standby units. So for every working unit, there is a standby unit waiting. So that means there would never be a scenario where the treatment plant is unable to process the water. The river water is in abundance, so that is not a scarcity. The treatment units are duty and standby, so they will always work. Electricity, there is a generator there in standby, so that would not be a constraint for functionality of this plant. In very simple words, this plant should work day and night for the people, 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, every day of the month, every day of the year. This will be producing water for the people of Guyana and people of Bartica. This project have had its challenges. Of course, any project of this nature would have challenges. The biggest challenge we had was the logistics, where bringing materials from first overseas to Guyana was a challenge, and then to bring the material from Georgetown to Bartica was a challenge. So that was one of the challenges that we faced in this project. Other than that, several of these kinds we did before, and this is one more that we have done as Toshiba Water Solutions. as a company. So we are very proud of this facility and very proud of what it has been doing in the last 3 weeks of its operation. Where the water, when you see, if you put the raw water in a bottle and a treated water in a bottle, one side you will see the full of mud, full of color. Another side you will see is a crystal clear water, which is very good for human consumption. Finally, in closing, I wish to thank once again His Excellency President Dr. Irfan Ali, Mr. Sheikh Bucks, Aubrey Roberts for all their support in implementing this project and having faith in us to do this project for GWI. And we look forward as a company to be part of many more such projects in Guyana. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon to all. Thank you very much, Chairman of the proceeding. Honorable President, Ministers, distinguished guests, representatives of GWI, contractors, residents of 5 Mile Housing Scheme and surrounding communities, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, come resolved. Today marks a historic and proud moment for our community as we officially commission the new water treatment plant on 5 Miles Taro Road in this beautiful town of Bartica, situated in Region 7. Access to clean water, safe and reliable water is not a privilege. It's a fundamental right, and we all know that. It's life. This project stands as a clear evidence of what strong leadership, vision, and partnership between the local and central government can achieve for our people. I wish to acknowledge the vital role played by the government of Guyana under the leadership of His Excellency Mohamed Ali and the People's Progressive Party. Their continued commitment to improve infrastructure public services across Region 7 and throughout Guyana is clearly a testimony also demonstrated in this investment that we are about to commission today. The PPPC government has consistently prioritized the welfare of all citizens of Guyana, expanding access to potable water, improving road networks, upgrading health facilities, strengthening education system, and investing in housing and community development. In Bartica, schools, health centers, and public infrastructure. This water plant is another major step forward in ensuring that development reach every household. This facility represents also more than steel and concrete. It represents a better health opportunity for business. It represents security for our children, clean water, reduce illnesses, also improve sanitation, and strengthen our community's overall well-being. Development does not happen by accident. It happens because of deliberate policies, responsible governance, and a government that listens to its people. The PPPC government continues to demonstrate that no community is too small or too remote to benefit from our national progress. The residents of 5 Miles and surrounding communities, the water plant belongs to you. I encourage everyone to protect this investment, conserve water responsibly, and work together to ensure its sustainability for generations to come. As a mayor, I reaffirm my commitment to working hand in hand with central government to continue improving the quality of life in Bartica. Together, we will continue to build stronger communities, expand our opportunities, and ensuring that development is inclusive and sustainable. Today, we celebrate progress. Tomorrow, we continue to work. May this water plan serve our people for our people faithfully for many years to come. I thank you, and may God bless Bartica, Region 7, and our beloved country, Guyana.
GWI. Safe travel, everyone, and have a good remainder of the day.
Yes, one? Okay, alright. You gotta get it from me. Okay, good.